Hey guys, Bud here bringing you the third game of week number 1 of Season 3 of the NABA. This one is a rematch of last year's finals between Sam's Slakoths and Sanchez's Sandshrews. So, in which Sam beats Colton last year in the finals of Season 2. So now we have a week 1 matchup between the two. So, pretty hyped matchup here. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle screen. So we have Sam Slakoths on the bottom side there, bringing Galvantula, Espion, Scrafty, Braviary, Houndoom, and Deoncy. So a pretty nice mix of offense and then a little bit of defense, mostly offensive team though. And then on the Sandshrews side, we have Sudowoodo, Frostlass, Hitmonleave, Avion, Melodic, and Ambipom. So very similar, a lot of offense and not too much defense. So both of these teams carrying a lot of offensive mons and really not carrying a lot of defensive mons overall. So let's just go ahead and let's start this match. Okay, so we see the Galvantula lead, which is no surprise. That's its primary role. And so Frostlass does go for the taunt and stops the sticky web. So really well played by Colton here. I like his plan. He does go for the spikes on turn 2 and gets a spike up. And then this Thunder does a ton. And then he goes for the D-Bond here while Galvantula goes for the Bug Buzz. And since it's resisted, it actually doesn't kill it. So it's kind of funny because the cursed body on Frostlass actually backfires. Because I'm pretty sure if Samuel wouldn't have his Thunder wouldn't have got disabled, he would have just Thundered again and just tried to make sure he got rid of the Frostlass. That way he could set webs. But instead, the Frostlass, the cursed body, disables the Thunder, and so then he has to go for the Bug Buzz, which then doesn't kill. So now Samuel knows what his plan is and decides that he's going to try to get out of there. So he's going to try to Sticky Web again. This is where the play where would have liked him just going for an attacking move with the taunt, like predicting the taunt to happen and gone for attacking move, then got rid of the Frostlass, because then he would have been in a fantastic position, because then he would have gotten rid of one Pokemon and would have still had his sash intact to where he could set webs on the next Pokemon. But regardless, he can't sticky web, so he doesn't make the risky play. In comes the Braviary as he predicts the Destiny Bond. And he's just going to go ahead and defog this spike away. I think let me pause this real quick. So I think I got to tip my hat to Colton. I think he came up with a really nice set with the Frostlass to taunt and then D-Bond, like taunt, spike, D-Bond, and that way he could have, if everything worked out the way he wanted to, he would have gotten, kept webs from going up, would have gotten rid of a Pokemon in Galvantula, and got a spike up. And so all three of those would have been huge, and he did stop webs at first. He did get a spike up, but then he got defogged, and now his Frostlass is sitting at 10%. And all of that honestly goes back to the cursed body stopping the Thunder. If it wouldn't have happened, if he didn't have cursed body stop the Thunder, then he would have been fine, and he actually would have been on turn 4 sitting in that same situation where he has a spike, no sticky webs, and he's gone 1-for-1 with his Frostlass. But instead he's sitting here with an almost dead Frostlass, and Galvantula still has its sash intact. So overall, really well planned. It just did not work out for him because of the cursed body. I know that's like one of those things where I bet when it happened the moment he thought, oh wow, if I didn't get cursed body, disable the Thunder, I would have been fine. But it does backfire on him a little bit, and it puts him in kind of a difficult situation. But overall, really well planned out. But I also have to tip my cap to Samuel for kind of playing around it and not kind of just losing it. But he plays around it pretty well. But at the same time, like I said, if he would have predicted the taunt play and gone for like a Bug Buzz and just finished off the Frostlass, then he'd have been in a really good position. But either way, he didn't do that. So he does defog. Then he goes for the Superpower and does a ton of damage to Sudowoodo. And then this Sudowoodo goes for a Head Smash, which easily KOs Braviary. By the way, I love Sudowoodo. It's like my favorite Pokemon, or one of my favorite Pokemon. I just love its design. So now he comes out Deoncy. This is kind of a head scratcher to me. Mostly because he can go into Houndoom and Dark Pulse this thing. He can go into Espion and get rid of this thing. He can go into Galvantula and get rid of this thing. I don't really know why he goes for this play here into Deoncy. So he does get up his rocks. I'm guessing maybe he figured he would switch. I mean, even Deoncy could fire off a Moonblast and kill the Sudowoodo here. I mean, Sudowoodo has paper thin special defense. It's really bulky defensively, but special defensively it's absolutely trash. And so even if he just goes for a Moonblast here, he kills it. But instead he sets rocks, and I'm not sure why, because then, I mean, look at that. That is Choice Banded's Head Smash. That hurts so, I mean, he had like a truck. That's ridiculous. So anyways, It's red card Deontay. So he blows his red card off for nothing to get rocks up. And so now he's got to switch out his Deontay. He goes into his Scrafty here to get the Intimidate off. So then the Ambipom is going to U-turn. And Scrafty's going to get a bulk up here. On this turn, as it does get poisoned. So this is pretty bad for Samuel, because even though he's stacking up bulk ups, that Toxic is going to wear on him eventually. So now he's Colton is just trying to Toxic stall him as much as he can. So now he's at +2 attack, and he's now going to go for this Drain Punch, and this must be, I think this is max defense Melodic, because it takes absolutely nothing from a +2 Drain Punch. I mean, absolutely nothing. So Samuel realizes that his Scrafty is not going to win this battle, especially considering Melodic's got Recover. So really well planned out set, really well played, really good job by Colton to play around the Scrafty setup there. So now he's just going to go back into his Pseudo Voodoo here. So now things are kind of looking better for him, okay? Things are looking better for Samuel now, because he does get the webs up. He now has rocks, and he does get rid of the Pseudo Voodoo, and his Galvantula still has its Sash. So things are actually looking really well for him. And then the Frostlass does die to rocks. So things are actually really turning into his favor right now. Then out comes the Hitmonlee. Now this is where the red card Deontay would have been really, really clutch. But he doesn't have the red card because he blew the red card on the Pseudo Wudo, and it was a pretty much useless red card. So Hitmonlee's not forced out. He gets to stay in, and he's able to kill the Deontay. So not having red card still up on Deontay is a big mistake. So in comes the Espeon. Now this is defensive bulky Espeon because it can take the knockoff. But then he doesn't have Psychic. He only has Stored Power and Dazzling Gleam. If he has Psychic, he easily just finishes him off there. So a little bit of a disrespectful set ended up biting him, because if he has Psychic there, he could just easily kill this Hitmonlee. And then these Ambipom's caught in the webs and easily killed by pretty much anything that Samuel has left. I mean, he still has Sash on Galvantula. Vivillon is going to take 50% from webs and is going to get outsped by Houndoom. Actually, I don't know what Vivillon's speed is, but I think it does get outsped by Houndoom. So pretty much, if he can just find a way to get through Melodic, which he does have Thunder Galvantula to do so, if he can just Psychic here and get rid of this, even if something comes in and Revenge kills his Espeon, I mean, he has what he needs. He has in the back what he needs to win this game. But he doesn't, so Espeon does go down here. Now in comes the Galvantula because he has the Sash, so he can take an Earthquake anyways. But then he goes for a Bug Buzz instead of a Thunder, and Bug Buzz is resisted, so he actually takes it. If he goes for Thunder here, he actually gets rid of him, and he's still in a pretty decent position to win this game because Galvantula, I think, would outspeed the rest of his team, and could easily kill Vivillon with a Thunder. Would do a ton of damage to Melodic with a Thunder, possibly one hit KO in it. And Ambipom, probably, I don't know if he could one hit KO with a Thunder, but he could have done a ton of damage, and Houndoom could have finished the game off from there. Regardless, he goes for a Bug Buzz, and now Hitmonlee is just finishing the game up here. And then in comes the Scrafty, and he can easily take out the Scrafty with the close combat as well. And he does the Rocky Helmet. So overall, I think the plan from both guys' sides was actually really well. They both had really good plans, but neither of them were executed properly. And then Samuel made a couple mistakes on top of his initial mistake of blowing the red card on Pseudo Wudo, and that really cost him. And I think, blowing the red card on Pseudo Wudo wasn't the biggest mistake, because then if he just has Psychic on Espeon, he can still kill Hitmonlee. Or then if he goes for Thunder on Hitmonlee instead of Bug Buzz, he can still kill Hitmonlee. But instead, he missed those two opportunities. So he actually had a lot of ways to beat this Hitmonlee, and all three of them, which was the red card, and then the going for a Psychic, but he didn't have Psychic, or going for the Thunder. But instead he didn't have any of those, or he didn't do any of those. So the Hitmonlee was able to just win the game. And yeah, like I said, with those webs up, with those rocks up, if he's able to get rid of the Hitmonlee, he pretty much auto wins the game, because Vivillon's not going to do anything because it's going to lose half of his HP. And, maybe it's like, it might be like Sash Vivillon, he's going to try to Quiver Dance or something. but I don't think Vivian can outspeed Houndoom or Galvantula, so it's not going to do anything. Also, Ambipom under webs is going to get outsped by the rest of his team, except for Scrafty. But Scrafty was pretty useless at that point anyways. But even the other 3 mons are going to be able to outspeed Ambipom, and one of them is going to be able to take him down. And then Melodic is going to be destroyed by Galvantula's Thunder. So, yeah, if he would have handled the Hitmonlee better, I think Samuel actually wins this game really easily. Because he was able to dance around the Frostlass. He did get up rocks. He did get up webs. But at the end of the day, he made a few mistakes with Hitmonlee, and it cost him the game overall. But yeah, I think they both had a really good plan. Like I said, I think if Colton would have not had the cursed body backfire on him, he would have been in a much better position. I think if Samuel attacks on the taunt play, he's in a much better position. But that's a really 50-50 chance. Like, does he debond again when you attack, or has he taunt again? So that's a tough play to make regardless. But either way, I feel like if Samuel makes the better play where he keeps his red card alive, or he keeps his red card up on his Deontay, or if he just kills the Sudowoodo, just comes in revenge kills it, instead of popping his red card, I don't know. It's just kind of a strange play there. But overall, I think it was still a really good match, but Samuel could have won this one easily if he handled the Hitmonlee better. The Hitmonlee didn't exactly just take over the game. It kind of just won because of a few mistakes that Samuel made. But otherwise, good game from those guys. I think the planning was really well done. Execution didn't really work out for either of them. At the end of the day, the Hitmonlee just kind of won the game by not being able to be killed. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.